Early Greek Philosophers. Pythagoras. Part 3. History and Systems of Psychology. Professor Michael Botwin, Department of Psychology, California State University, Fresno. According to Pythagoras, everything in the world could be explained by mathematical harmony. Now, I'm sure that you've heard of the Pythagorean theorem before, the perfect relationship between the proportions of a right triangle. And in turn, Pythagoras believed that numbers and the underlying mathematical relationships, like his theorem, were real. He followed the line of the cosmologist and said all nature is interrelated. And music, as an example of this, is a harmonious blending of tones based on mathematics. And this is possibly the first psychophysical law out there. If you talk to modern music theorists, not musicians, theorists, they can tell you all kinds of complex things about the systematic relationship between notes in a song. Some of those relationships will be more harmonious and pleasant to hear, others won't. But there's mathematical relationships underlying the notes in a song. Pythagoras also talked about the idea of illness, and that health is a disruption of the body's equilibrium. And you're going to see this again and again, this idea of homeostasis. Now, Pythagoras believed that there were two worlds. There was the empirical world, and there was the abstract world. Let's talk about both of these in kind, Now, the empirical world is what we observe, what we see. It's the world we live in. It's the world of experience. It is not empirical in terms of our modern use of empirical to discuss research. Nothing is perfect in the empirical world, and everything in it is subject to change. You can see he borrows this from Heraclitus, who we previously talked about in the last video lecture. Excuse the cough. Now, the other world is the abstract world. The abstract world is perfect, and the Pythagoreans believed this was the far more superior world for two fundamental reasons. Everything in the abstract world is permanent and intellectually knowable. So the things we see change, they fade, they get old, they change in some way, there's some erosion, there's aging, nothing ever stays static. However, there is an abstract world where everything is permanent, everything is knowable, and nothing changes. Now, in terms of our class, this is a point I want you to really get down, because the idea of a inferior empirical world and a perfect abstract world are going to become very important concepts as we go through this course. And I want you to get that down really well. So remember, the empirical world is where we live, and it's not perfect. The abstract world is perfect and permanent and knowable. We'll build on this next time. Bye now. This has been a We Have Couches video production. Copyright 2020, Professor Michael Botwin, all rights reserved.